Hey there! Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your Quizmaster Sean, and I've got 100 questions for you. Trivia, shipwrecks, folklore and legends, 90s moments, the age of discovery, and high fantasy books. So, let's give our brains a workout, see what we remember, and have some fun. Which shipwreck is famously known for sinking after hitting an iceberg in 1912? The RMS Titanic, the RMS Lusitania, or the SS Edmund Fitzgerald? And that shipwreck was the RMS Titanic. The Spanish galleon San Jose was sunk during the battle off the coast of which country? Colombia, Mexico, or Portugal? And the San Jose was sunk off the coast of Colombia. Which 17th century Swedish warship sank on its maiden voyage and was later salvaged almost fully intact? The Mary Rose, the Vasa, or the HMS Victory? It was the Vasa. The wreck of which ship, known for its gold rush passengers, was discovered off the coast of California in 1988? The SS Great Britain or the SS Central America? It was the SS Central America. What was the fate of the German battleship Bismarck during World War II? It was scuttled by its own crew, it ran aground on a reef, or was it sunk by British forces? It was sunk by British forces. Which ship, famously associated with Sir Francis Drake, was lost off the coast of Panama in the 16th century? The Nuestra Señora de Atocha, the Golden Hind, or the Witta Galley? It was the Golden Hind. The HMS Victory was the flagship of which British naval hero? Captain James Cook, Admiral Lord Nelson, or Sir Walter Raleigh? The flagship was of Admiral Lord Nelson. The wreck of which ship inspired Herman Melville's novel Moby Dick? The Essex, the Endurance, or the Sea Venture? Inspired by the Essex. Which legendary shipwreck was discovered by Robert Ballard in 1985? The SS Andreadora, the RMS Titanic, or the RMS Lusitania? It was the RMS Titanic. Which ship, lost in a storm on Lake Superior in 1975, was immortalized in a song by Gordon Lightfoot? And that was the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. What was the primary cause of the sinking of the Mary Rose, a flagship of Henry VIII? The primary cause of Henry VIII's boat? It was overloaded and capsized during battle. Which famous Greek shipwreck, discovered in 1900, contained the world's oldest known analog computer? The Uluburun wreck, the Antikythera wreck, or the Magia shipwreck? It was the Antikythera wreck. The Endurance, famously trapped and crushed by ice, was part of an expedition led by which explorer? Sir Ernest Shackleton, Roald Amundsen, or Robert Falcon Scott? It was Sir Ernest Shackleton's ship. What was the primary cargo of the Spanish galleon Nuestra Señora de Atocha? Spices and silks, gold, silver, and emeralds, or weapons and cannons? The Nuestra Señora de Atocha was carrying gold, silver, and emeralds. Which luxury liner sank after colliding with the MS Stockholm off the coast of Massachusetts in 1956? The SS United States, the SS Andrea Doria, or the RMS Carpathia? It was the SS Andrea Doria. The Whydah Galley was the first pirate shipwreck discovered. Where was it found? In the Caribbean Sea, off the coast of Cape Cod, or near the Bahamas? They found it off the coast of Cape Cod. What was the fate of the HMS Bounty, a British ship famously involved in a mutiny? It was deliberately run aground, it sank off the coast of Pitcairn Island, or it was destroyed by fire. It was deliberately run aground. Which shipwreck was discovered in 1987 and is known for its large collection of Ming Dynasty porcelain? The Titanic, the Mary Celeste, or the Tek Sing? It was the Tek Sing. The mysterious disappearance of which ship in 1872 has sparked numerous theories, including piracy and supernatural causes. It was the disappearance of the Mary Celeste. Which shipwreck was discovered with thousands of amphorae containing remnants of wine, oil, and fish sauce? The Karenia ship, the Madrag de Guines wreck, or the Uluburan wreck? It was the Madrag de Guines wreck. In the legends of King Arthur, who was his trusted magician and advisor? Was it Merlin? Was it Gandalf? Or was it Albus? King Arthur's trusted magician and advisor, of course, was Merlin. According to Scandinavian folklore, what is a selkie known for? A selkie. Well, that is known for transforming from a seal into a human. The tale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin involves him leading away which creatures? Snakes, birds, or rats? The Pied Piper led away rats. What is a legendary city of gold sought by explorers in South America? Are they looking for Shangri-La? Are they looking for El Dorado? Or were they looking for Atlantis? They were looking for El Dorado. According to legend, what did Pandora release into the world when she opened her box? Sins and evils, demons, or golds and riches? Pandora opened her box and released sins and evils. In Native American folklore, what is a skinwalker? A skinwalker. That is a witch who can transform into animals. What is the myth behind the origins of the werewolf? A spell cast by a sorcerer, a human bitten by a wolf, or a person cursed by the gods? It's a human bitten by a wolf. The Headless Horseman is a figure from which American folktale? The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, The Midnight Ride, or Paul Bunyan? And that comes from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. In Norse mythology, what creature gnaws at the roots of the world tree, Yggdrasil? A giant squirrel? A serpent? Or is it a dragon? It is a dragon. In the legend of Robin Hood, what was Robin famous for? Robin Hood. He would steal from the rich and give it to the poor. What is the main feature of the chupacabra, a legendary creature from Latin American folklore? Guarding hidden treasures, sucking the blood of livestock, or cursing travelers? It would suck the blood of livestock. In Chinese folklore, what is the Monkey King known for? Leading armies in battle, stealing peaches of immortality, or guarding ancient temples? It would steal peaches of immortality. According to legend, why did the Trojan War begin? A dispute over a magical sword, a curse placed on the city, or the abduction of Helen of Troy? The war started because of the abduction of Helen of Troy. What is the origin of the vampire legend in Eastern Europe? A disease causing people to appear undead? An ancient blood-drinking cult? Or tales of demons rising from graves? It comes from a disease causing people to appear undead. Which figure was said to have made a pact with the devil for knowledge and power? Merlin, Faust, or Dracula? A pact with the devil was made by Faust. The legend of La Llorona originates from which culture? Mexican culture, Native American culture, or African culture? The legend of Llorona, from Mexican culture. Llorona? In Greek mythology, what did the hero Perseus use to defeat Medusa? A shield to reflect her gaze, a bag to capture her head, or a golden sword? He used a shield to reflect her gaze. In Slavic folklore, what is a domovoi? A forest monster? A house spirit that protects the home? Or is it a water nymph? It's a house spirit that protects the home. Which pop star performed in a wedding dress during the 1994 MTV Video Music Awards? Britney Spears, Madonna, or Janet Jackson? One of them performed in a wedding dress. And that performer was Madonna. In 1997, which movie became the highest grossing film of all time? Was it Titanic? Was it The Lion King? Or was it Jurassic Park? It was Titanic. What was the name of the virtual pet craze that became a global phenomenon? Tamagotchi, Beanie Babies, or Furby? Tamagotchi, Beanie Babies. It was Tamagotchi. Which NBA player shocked the world by announcing his HIV diagnosis in 1991? That basketball player was Earvin Magic Johnson. The Rachel haircut, popularized in the 90s, is associated with which TV show? Seinfeld, Friends, or Beverly Hills 90210? The show was Friends. In 1996, which gaming console was released by Nintendo and became a massive hit? And that that gaming console was Nintendo 64. Which 90s song performed by Nirvana became an anthem for Generation X? Wonderwall, Smells Like Teen Spirit, or Losing My Religion? And the song was Smells Like Teen Spirit. In 1993, which popular children's TV show made its debut featuring brightly colored, alien-like creatures? It was Teletubbies. Which fashion accessory became synonymous with the 90s hip-hop culture? Skinny jeans, snapback hats, or aviator sunglasses? Snapback hats. Who famously declared, "I was not with that woman," during a 1998 scandal? George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, or was it Al Gore? That would be Bill Clinton. What popular 90s beverage was a favorite among kids? Capri Sun, Kool-Aid Jammers, or was it Squeeze It? The 90s beverage, a favorite among kids, Squeeze It. The first cloned mammal, Dolly the sheep, was introduced to the world in what year? Dolly the sheep was introduced in 1996. In 1999, which movie introduced the bullet time special effect? Fight Club, The Matrix, or The Blair Witch Project? And that would be The Matrix. Which software bug was feared to cause worldwide chaos in the year 2000? Did they fear the Millennium Virus, the Cyber Crash, or the Y2K bug? It was the Y2K bug. Who was the iconic fashion designer that died tragically in 1997? Gianni Versace, Karl Lagerfeld, or Alexander McQueen? And that designer was Gianni Versace. Which 90s hit by the Spice Girls became a global pop anthem? The 90s hit by the Spice Girls. That would be Wannabe. What was the name of the first web browser? Was it Mosaic? Was it Internet Explorer? Or was it Netscape Navigator? The first web browser. That was Mosaic. Who is credited with discovering the sea route to India around the Cape of Good Hope? Ferdinand Magellan, Vasco da Gama, or Christopher Columbus? And that credit goes to Vasco da Gama. Which explorer went across the Atlantic in 1492, mistakenly believing he reached Asia? Was it John Cabot? Was it Hernan Cortez? Or was it Christopher Columbus? It was Christopher Columbus. What was the primary motivation behind many of the European explorations? Establishing scientific research stations, or finding new trade routes and acquiring wealth, or expanding agricultural territories? It was finding new trade routes and acquiring wealth. Which treaty divided the newly discovered lands outside Europe between Spain and Portugal? that treaty was the Treaty of Tordesillas. Who was the first European to reach Brazil in 1500? Ferdinand Magellan, Pedro Alvarez Cabral, or Amerigo Vespucci? And the first European to reach Brazil was Pedro Alvarez Cabral. Which explorer's expedition was the first to circumnavigate the globe? Was it Ferdinand Magellan? Was it Vasco Núñez de Balboa? Or was it John Cabot? And that explorer was Ferdinand Magellan, the first to circumnavigate the globe. Which ship successfully completed Magellan's circumnavigation journey? The Victoria, the Santa Maria, or the Pinta? And that famous ship was the Victoria. Who realized that the lands discovered by Columbus were not Asia, but a new continent? Giovanni de Verrazzano, Amerigo Vespucci, or Marco Polo? Amerigo Vespucci realized they'd found a new continent. What was the primary commodity the Portuguese sought in their explorations? Were they looking for gold? Were they looking for silk? Or were they looking for spices? They were looking for spices. Which explorer was the first European to see the Pacific Ocean from the Americas? First European to see the Pacific from the Americas was Vasco Núñez de Balboa. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés is known for his conquest of which empire? The Aztec Empire, the Mayan Empire, or the Inca Empire? And he conquered the Aztec Empire. The term New World was used to describe the Americas by which European figure? Bartolomeo Diaz, Amerigo Vespucci, or Ferdinand Magellan? And that was Amerigo Vespucci. What was the purpose of the Spanish encomienda system? To provide education to indigenous people, to grant land to Spanish colonists, or to promote trade with native tribes? To grant land to Spanish colonists. Who was the first European known to land on the shores of modern-day Canada? The first European known to land in Canada. That was John Cabot. The explorer Bartolomeo Diaz is known for which significant achievement? Finding a direct sea route to India, discovering the Cape of Good Hope, or conquering the Aztec Empire? Discovering the Cape of Good Hope. Which power established the first permanent settlement in North America in 1565? France, England, or Spain? And that first one was Spain. What was the main ship used by Christopher Columbus on his first voyage to the New World? The main ship used by Christopher Columbus was the Santa Maria. Which city became a significant center of trade for the Portuguese due to its strategic location during the Age of Discovery? Alexandria, Lisbon, or Venice? And that would be Lisbon. Which explorer was the first to enter the Pacific Ocean through the Straits of Magellan? James Cook, Ferdinand Magellan, or Vasco da Gama? And that would be Ferdinand Magellan. What was one of the major negative consequences of the Age of Discovery on indigenous populations in the Americas? One of the major negative consequences. And that would be widespread disease. In The Hobbit, what is the name of the dragon that guards treasure? Is he Smaug? Is he Ankalagon? Or Glorung? And the name would be Smaug. Who wrote A Song of Ice and Fire? J.R.R. Tolkien? Was it Robert Jordan or George R.R. Martin? A Song of Ice and Fire. That was written by George R.R. Martin. In The Lord of the Rings, what are the creatures that guard the Black Gate of Mordor? Those creatures are trolls. In A Song of Ice and Fire, what is the motto of House Stark? Hear me roar, winter is coming, or fire and blood? The motto is winter is coming. Which creature does Bilbo Baggins meet in the dark tunnels of the Misty Mountains? Gollum, Shelob, or Balrog? In the dark tunnels of the Misty Mountains, he meets Gollum. What race is Legolas from The Lord of the Rings? Is he an elf? Is he a hobbit? Or a dwarf? And he'd be an elf. In A Song of Fire and Ice, who is known as the Mother of Dragons? In The Song of Fire and Ice, the Mother of Dragons is Daenerys Targaryen. What is the name of the giant wolf that Arya Stark bonds with? Summer, Nymeria, or Shaggy Dog? The giant wolf that Arya Stark bonds with. That would be Nymeria. In The Lord of the Rings, what is the name of the forest where the Ents live? Lothlorien, Fangorn Forest, or Mirkwood? And it would be Fangorn Forest. Who is the Grey Wizard who leads the Fellowship in The Lord of the Rings? Is that Saruman, Radagast, or Gandalf? The Grey Wizard. Gandalf the Grey. In The Hobbit, who kills Smaug the Dragon? Smaug the Dragon. And that would be Bard the Bowman. What is the name of the enormous ice wall that protects the Seven Kingdoms? The Frozen Barrier, the Wall, or is it the Northern Wall? It is the Wall. What is the fictional language spoken by elves in The Lord of the Rings? Quenya or Valyrian? And that fictional language is Quenya. In A Song of Ice and Fire, what is the name of Jon Snow's dire wolf? And the name of the dire wolf is Ghost. In The Hobbit, what contest does Bilbo win against Gollum? A riddle contest? A sword fight? Or a puzzle? It is a riddle contest that he wins. What is the name of the kingdom that Frodo Baggins calls home? Rohan, the Shire, or Gondor? It is the Shire. In A Song of Ice and Fire, who is the youngest Stark daughter? Jane, Sansa, or Arya? The youngest Stark daughter. That would be Arya. Who are Aragorn and Strider? They are the same person? They are separate kings? Or they are brothers? They are the same person. In The Hobbit, which dwarf leads the company to reclaim Erebor? Thorin, Dwalin, or Balin? And that would be Thorin. Who created the One Ring in The Lord of the Rings? And the One Ring was created by Sauron. In A Song of Ice and Fire, what is the ancestral sword of the House of Stark called? Oathkeeper, Longclaw, or Ice? And that would be Ice. What is the ancient home of the Targaryens before they ruled Westeros? Dragonstone, Valyria, or Harrenhal? And that would be Valyria. In The Hobbit, what are the giant spiders that live in Mirkwood called? Are they called Ungoliant's brood, giant tarantulas, or Shelob's kin? They're called Shelob's kin. In A Song of Ice and Fire, what title is given to the ruler of the Iron Islands? The Sea Lord, the Drowned King, or the King of the Iron Islands? And that would be the King of the Iron Islands. And now, question 100. In The Lord of the Rings, what is the Elvish name for Rivendell, the Hidden Valley Refuge? What is the Elvish name for Rivendell? And its name is Imladris. And that's all I got for you today. Thanks for playing Quiz Time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss any Quiz Time when it comes out. And we like to do this often. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.